This is the Real Pod Newscast with Levon Putney with a quick check on what's going on. So here's my man to get into it.
Happy Hump Day. Thanks for listening. Yeah, I get to say Hump Day now. Thanks for listening. Changing up everything. Hope y'all are liking this move to one show a week, dead smack in the middle of the work week. But other than that, let's see. Tigers can apparently play golf, but can't drive. And I want to see this Ryan Gosling movie, this sci-fi Project Hail Mary. I don't think I've seen a single trailer or any kind of ad, but it's been #1 at the box office. Seems like the only movie folks are talking about right now, which may mean it's good, maybe, but I've been fooled before, Blair Witch, but I do want to see it. And March Madness, been true to its name. That Duke-UConn men's game was great. Duke's women, yeah, it was a good first half. They were not quite ready for UCLA's size. Lauren Betts was out there like a giant. Like, move, little girl, I need this layup.
My favorite stories of the day.
Hey, either the Bud Light boycott is over or thieves are not being picky, since 14 News in Evansville, Indiana, is reporting a guy stole a Bud Light semi-truck from in front of a liquor store this past Friday afternoon. It's a semi, not like it can peel out and get away quickly, so someone may have spotted the thievery fast enough to call police about it, since 14 News is saying Vanderburgh County Sheriff's deputies saw it heading down an avenue and tried to pull it over, but sheriffs say that truck driver kept going onto a state route, hit the gas, leading a chase into the next county before crashing into a deputy's patrol vehicle and then crash landing in a field. That's where deputies then shot pepper balls at the driver to get him out. Now, the deputy whose vehicle was hit, not hurt, but the 41-year-old man arrested was. They described his injuries as minor and his condition as drunk, since sheriffs say his blood alcohol content was 0.103. That's over the legal limit. Now, if this 41-year-old is guilty, the thought has probably crossed his mind somewhere behind bars right now that he should have just stolen 1 or 2 12-packs. Misdemeanor if caught. But the whole damn semi, bruh, you're already buzzed. However, gamers who play Grand Theft Auto 5 may remember a challenge that pops up for Franklin or Michael or somebody to steal a liquor truck and get it to the store within 90 seconds or so. So could have been a failed challenge. And I was more than happy to bring up GTA 5 while waiting like everyone else for 6 to come out, supposedly November 19th, because there are a couple of challenges in GTA 5 that call for the character the player is controlling to drive to the airport and steal an airplane. It's fun in the video game, but that is a pretty tense situation if happening in real life. Now, we are gonna overlook the fact that airport security should be a little better than a punchline after 9/11 because, well, no, we're not overlooking that because 25 years after hijackers attacked America with airplanes, security was such at Daytona Beach International that a 58-year-old drunk dude drove a Mustang through a gate at the international terminal, then drove across an active taxiway to roll up on an airplane that he got out to try and steal. Police say this happened last Wednesday afternoon around 4:30, so plenty of daylight, plenty of people around to see this, and they say the plane's door was locked on that first one, so left that one alone and tried 2 more before the 4th time was a charm and got into an empty plane, but by that point, airport workers already saw all this, and cops say they dragged that dude off the plane and had him on the ground by the time Volusia County sheriffs pulled up wearing their body cameras.
What's the deal, man?
I don't remember. Fucking anything. I was at my house.
Say they had a bunch of drugs,
I went to an AA meeting. And next thing I know, I'm doing cocaine, drinking, and smoking pot.
Now, in case you missed it, this 58-year-old guy was explaining to the officer how he went to an AA, Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, and the next thing he knows, he's drinking, doing cocaine, and smoking pot.
So you were doing all kinds of drugs and ran through a gate?
Yeah, and I crashed my car.
Okay, take note that he said he crashed his car right there at the airport because not even a couple of minutes later, here he is reacting to seeing his ride as they put him in a sheriff's cruiser.
What the fuck is my car doing over there?
Put it over there, son.
What gate did I go through?
I don't know.
I don't fucking know either. Saying I know I was at my house and people started chasing me. Fucking A! Fucking A!
That sounds like a man who was half smiling on his mugshot because WESH NBC2 had it in their story. And yeah, well, either a half smile or the half smilingest straight face ever. KIRO7 in Seattle ran a story on Monday of last week, the 23rd, on how a guy from Thurston County was sent to a familiar place that day because the county sheriff say that dude was arrested for the 98th time. And the way they described it, the 98th was a charm for him. The sheriff says this man first led them on a chase, but when they caught him, they say deputies found he had a custom bong built into the truck's dash so he could comfortably smoke drugs while driving. And when they said drugs, they meant it. Meth, heroin, and fentanyl being what officers say they found in this man's truck, along with that MacGyver Inspector Gadget type bong device. Go Gadget bong. This man, he's facing a lot of charges for this 98th arrest. Now, 98 should tell you are not good at this criminal stuff, but cops think the drugs are telling them to make MacGyver jealous with that bong. A detective in Indianapolis Police's child abuse unit is accused of being a good example of why being on call on a weekend night can be tricky. Fox 59 News is reporting the 34-year-old detective was called last Sunday evening on the 22nd, and her own colleagues say she showed up to the scene of an investigation with her breath smelling like she was having much more fun before they called her. So they called their supervisor. The supervisor called the lieutenant, and they ended up going to her house and said they saw for themselves that she seemed drunk, but still took her to a hospital to get tested. And this 8-year veteran detective is now on leave, charged with DUI and endangering. And that expression on her mugshot says she is not happy with the situation. WJAC NBC6 in Altoona, Pennsylvania, is reporting Sunday morning of last week, the 22nd. Police say a 43-year-old man set fire to a home early that morning while 3 people were inside. And the whole time, witnesses told cops that man was singing Talking Heads is burning down the house. Police say he tried to block firefighters from going inside, but they got in. All 3 of the people inside got out. NBC6 is saying one inhaled a little too much smoke, but all relatively fine, except that man accused of being a singing arsonist, felonies, arson-related charges, and child endangerment. He's singing jailhouse blues now and $1 million bail. Back in a moment, but before we break,
blazing the best hip-hop, R&B, reggae, soca.
You can get the Jams Podcast Mix on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, and Deezer. Download the podcast for free.
It's Jams Hour Mix with Greg H.
Hi, baby. Do you really love me?
Call now. $99 shipping and handling added to cost.
Boy, bye.
Enjoy this moment of serenity.
You Bigfoot out that water.
Thank you for taking.
And now for the world around us.
Of all the things for which to discipline a teacher, in Canada's British Columbia, CTV News reported on the story of a grade 6 elementary school teacher who bought dry ice to class. And the school regulator says he needed a permission slip to bring dry ice for his own show and tell. But he apparently did not, which is why the regulator says the man admitted to professional misconduct and accepted a 10-day suspension and a 2-day license suspension. Dry ice. They say this teacher spent part of his show and tell putting some dry ice in his mouth and holding it with bare hands. Now that sounds like a punishment. And one kid put his dry ice in a water bottle, closed the lid, and it exploded. CTV says the teacher's consent resolution agreement points out the kids in the room were all wet after that, and the bottle, that left a hole in the ceiling tile after the explosion. Now, those of us of a certain age may remember how badly we used to treat Atari 2600 consoles and the original Nintendo systems when the games would freeze or mess up. I and everyone I played with would just smack the game systems and beat up on them. But it did work a lot in getting the games to work. Just smack it. The news site India Today, though, had a story on how a 50-year-old woman had been declared brain dead, so doctors told her husband to take his wife's body and get ready for a funeral. And on the ambulance ride to the family's home, they hit a pothole. Then all of a sudden, the brain-dead woman started moving. That ambulance took her right back to the hospital. She recovered. The doctor tells India Today that she's living a normal life right now. They did find it possible that the woman might have been suffering from the effects of a snake bite and fooled doctors into thinking she was brain dead. Now, I'm not saying they should have smacked her upside the head like we used to do game consoles, and I don't have to say it because the ambulance did it. An Austrian man just flossed his nasal cavity into a Guinness World Record. UPI is reporting the guy broke the record, so somebody thought to do this before us for the most uninflated balloons passed into the nose and out of the mouth in 1 minute. UPI is saying he did it 10 times. That man should never have a stuffy nose. Chocolate and candy maker Nestle put out a statement last Friday to confuse everybody by making us all wonder who would do this. This being 12 tons of Kit Kat chocolate wafer candy bars stolen. 413,793 Kit Kats by Nestle's count. Stolen after leaving a production site in Italy and were headed to Poland, so Poland is missing some Kit Kats. The release statement Nestle put out included the quote, "We've always encouraged people to have a break with Kit Kat, but it seems thieves have taken the message too literally and made a break with more than 12 tons of our chocolate." Back at them.
Into love.
Are you telling these guys to watch Real Housewives? They keep asking about Dinah's husband.
No!
Girl, you smell good.
Oh, you mean my blouse? Yeah, no, I just started using this new laundry detergent.
Perfume, detergent, whatever, it's smelling good.
A sweet scent, the simple, most appropriate name we could think of.
Hey, excuse me? Yeah, can you not?
A detergent with a lasting aroma that even strangers may want a whiff of.
What's up with what's going down, though?
Nosy people end up hurting ourselves. I'm nosy. Well, we're all at least a little nosy, so we're all on the hook here. Ever walk into the restroom at work to use it, and while in there, you hear and sense someone else is already using it in a stall? Just happened to me last week, and I realized then it was probably a universal thing to want to look down at the shoes still visible under the stall's door, almost as if I'll be on shoe patrol around the office later trying to spot who blew up the restroom. And the thing is, I don't really want to know. That cannot just be me.
Please do subscribe to the audio version of The Goodness Factor with Shelley Wade podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to the video version of the podcast on the YouTube channel, The Goodness Factor with Shelley Wade.
Again, him running that 200 over and over again, sweat popping all off her, every which way. She's laid all sprawled all across the couch. You see my woman making love to another man on video. Keep doing what you're doing, what you're doing, what you're doing, what you're doing.
And that is it for another Real Pod newscast. Thanks as always for listening, and I hope this pull back to one cast per week is cool with everybody now, with those daily celebrity B-days dropping in the feeds. Let me know what you think, though. I think I need to get back on posting clips and stuff on Instagram, TikTok, and all the other socials. Trying to figure out now how I'll fit that in and start pumping out stuff again. Celebrity birthdays will drop in the morning. Eddie Murphy and Wayne Newton on Friday. Have a great rest of the week. Next full Real Pod next Wednesday.
This has been the Real Pod Newscast with Levon Putney from Show Enough Productions. And for more, hit up the website, realpodnewscast.com. That's real with 2 E's. This is Big Daddy Marty Allen. Thanks for listening.
Fucking A! Fucking A!
Show enough.